Alright, one take, I'm a busy man. Meet Max Payne, a grizzled detective opting for a quieter life in the suburbs with his wife, Michelle, and his newborn daughter. But when he arrives home on his last day of work, he finds that his family has been murdered by drug addicts. He kills the junkies, but has no idea why they would do this. Why did you do this? His only clue: the junkies graffitied a black V with a syringe on it. Max knew this to be the symbol of the designer drug Valkyr. Why would they do that? Why would they leave like a big clue? That seems dumb. 3 years pass by, and Max has joined the DEA. He's got a new focus now: to stop the creation and distribution of Valkyr. To do this, he goes undercover to infiltrate the Punchinello crime family, the head of which is Don Angelo Punchinello. Punchinello's right-hand man, Jack Lupino, has caught the DEA's attention with his trafficking and dealing of Valkyr. Max joins Lupino's crew, working his way up the ranks to get to Lupino. One day, Max receives a call from a man only known as BB. Love you too, BB. His handler at the DEA. BB sends him to the Roscoe Street subway to meet with his colleague, Alex Balder. Okay, there's going to be a lot of characters here. Now, Alex Balder is a good friend of Max's, and he and BB are the only ones who know that Max is undercover. It's not written down nowhere. But when Max arrives at the subway platform, he finds a dead security guard and 2 mobsters waiting for the next train. They're going to be late. Instead of arresting him, Max kills the mobsters and heads into another room where he saves a subway worker. You are welcome, thank you. The worker leads Max to an upper level where he can call for help. Meanwhile, Max takes an old subway car down to a disused section of the subway. I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can just turn the key. Alright, Max feels the earth quaking. Oh, what's happening? And he discovers a large hole in the subway wall, leading right to an old, closed-off entrance to a bank vault. Of course, the Roscoe Street Bank was right next door. The mobsters are pulling a bank heist. He kills them, and he looks through their loot. Acer bonds. I don't know what that is. Acer is a major pharmaceutical company, and these bonds are very valuable, as they would be. They're in a bank. They're trying to steal them. Makes sense. Max also finds some detonators, so he goes, oh, button go click, and the door explodes. Okay. Through the door, he finds the man he's looking for, Alex Balder. But Balder barely has a chance to explain himself before he is shot from behind. He's been killed. Max leaves the scene of the crime and heads straight to the Lupino's hotel to avenge his friend. At the hotel, Max runs into the FINITO brothers. There's a limited number of them. Is that funny? I don't even know. It's 7:30 in the morning. Anyway, the FINITO brothers are 2 of Jack Lupino's lackeys. He kills the brothers, and on their persons, he finds a note. It's written by another character. There's so many characters. VINNIE GOGNITTI. These are stupid names. Jack Lupino's right-hand man. My god, Jack's at the center of all of this. The letter is to the FINITO brothers, telling them that a Valkyr deal is going down at the hotel, and they need to meet up with Chicago mobster Rico. Hold on, I can do this. Rico. Can't do it. Ay caramba. Max finds Rico Muerte's hotel number, and he makes his way there. He wrote the script while walking through the hotel, though. Max passes by a radio, and the radio says, Max, you are now wanted for the murder of DEA colleague Alex Balder. He'll have to explain himself later, though. For now, he's got to kill Rico Muerte in his hotel room. Except, the hotel room is empty, but there is a letter, and the letter is from Don Punchinello. The letter asks Muerte to do me a favor by backing up the Valkyr deal. Oh my god, he's as proof. Maybe Rico's at the bar. So Max kills everyone on the way down to the bar. There he finds Rico Muerte with Candy Dawn, and he's how do I do this in an advertiser-friendly way? He's dispensing prize tickets from the arcade machine. Muertes reaches for his gun, but Max is too quick and also in slow motion. Look at that. So he leaves the building with an enormous body count, and on his way past reception, he overhears a phone call. Rico Muerte has called Vinnie Gognitti and warned him about Max. Now he's on guard. As Max is leaving the hotel, there's a sudden explosion. A bomb has gone off in one of Jack Lupino's tenant buildings. Riding shotgun and speeding away from the scene, Max spots Vladimir Lem, the head of the Russian mob in New York, and sworn enemy of Don Angelo Punchinello. Max goes and investigates the building explosion. He believes he will find VINNIE GOGNITTI there. Suddenly, a phone rings. On the other end, a man introduces himself as ALFRED WODEN. See how many characters there are in this fucking game? ALFRED warns Max that the police are on their way, and you need to get out of there. Max won't leave without VINNIE GOGNITTI. I need him. I love him. Max makes his way through the building and uses one of Gognitti's men to access the secured room upstairs. There he finds Gognitti and shoots him in the chest. Gognitti's men try to kill Max, but fail, because Max is too fast and too good at shooting. Max chases the injured Gognitti over the rooftops until he finally reaches a dead end. Max shoots him again and then interrogates him on Jack Lupino's whereabouts. You tell me where he is, I don't even know. Gognitti tells Max that Lupino is at the Ragnarok, a gothic nightclub. Isn't it like, Max doesn't kill Gognitti. He's not worth it. You ain't worth it to me. Even though I've got a body count of around 50 so far. But one more, I couldn't possibly have one more murder on me hands. Max heads to the Ragnarok, where Jack Lupino is hiding out. I want to see the Pino. While there, he learns about Lupino's violent behavior and his fascination with the occult. It looks like he's been moidering people and doing some satanic rituals with him, such as drawing blood in a pentagram and such. Max finds a letter to Lupino and Don Angelo Punchinello, and it's covered in blood, and it warns Lupino, you gotta get your act together, or you'll get paid a visit from the Trio. The Trio are Punchinello's 3 most notorious hitmen. See how this game has too many people? Max finally finds Jack Lupino. He has been waiting for this moment. Lupino is a big guy. For you. And he's pumped full of Valkyrie and moxie and spunk. And it looks like his addiction has taken over, because he's just speaking gibberish. Max takes him down by superior shooting, because Max is the best at shooting. After killing Jack Lupino, a woman comes out from behind the curtain. Is it safe? Max says yes. She pulls a gun out on Max, but Max returns the gesture. They are now in a Mexican standoff. She says, my name is Mona Sachs, and I have a twin sister, Lisa, and she is married to Don Punchinello. I gotta save her. Mona tells Max, also, by the way, when Alex Balder was shot, that was Punchinello, not Lupino. They both seem to have a common enemy in Punchinello. So they lower their guns, and Mona offers him a drink. After Max sculls the half-whiskey, half-monster energy concoctions called a misky, he immediately passes out. While he's unconscious, he has a nightmare. He's back in his old home in the suburbs. His wife and baby are being moidered, but this time, Max is the one pulling the trigger. The dream changes, and Max is remembering something he read in one of Michelle's... Who's Michelle? Oh, his wife. Michelle worked part-time at the district attorney's office. One day, she was handed a dossier. Something about Valhalla. She tried to tell Max, but he was too busy. I am too busy. He wakes up from his nightmare to find that he has been tied to a chair. In the room is a man holding a bat. My name, Frankie. Frankie the Bat Niagara. Matt takes several hits to the face. Jesus, you can take one maybe. Matt takes several hits to the face before Frankie leaves to get a drink. I'm too tired to keep hitting this dude across the face with a bat. I need a drink. This gives Max just enough time to escape. But on his way out, he overhears a mobster on a payphone. Of course he overhears something. He always overhears the critical information. He overhears a mobster on a payphone talking to Mona Sachs. It seems like right after she drugged Max, she went and tried to assassinate Don Angelo Punchinello herself. Now she's been taken hostage too. Well, that's good. You should leave, lay low for like a week, wait till she's dead, because she drugged you, then go and get your vengeance. You know what I mean? In another part of the club, Max overhears a radio broadcast saying that it's his own body that's been found. Wait, what? Someone has staged Max's murder. Now that's a plot twist. Max puts together that Punchinello didn't want the police snooping around while he had Max hostage, so he faked his death. Max then finds a note to Frankie the Bat, written by Punchinello, asking him to take care of Max. Well, that's kind of redundant. We know. Stop. Why did you need this note? Max goes to the bar and finds Frankie getting his refreshment. He kills Frankie. You're dead, and leaves the club, noticing that he's been tailed by Vladimir Lenin. Vladimir pulls up. I got a proposition for you, Max, and it ain't sex. What is it? I'm listening. Vladimir's man, Boris Dime, has betrayed him and taken over his cargo ship, Charon. The ship is full of guns and ammo, and if Max helps Vladimir to retake it and get his revenge on Dime, then Max can keep as many weapons as he likes in his venture to take on Punchinello. I only need one, to be honest, a handgun. You can have like 50 guns. Yeah, I know, but that doesn't make me more effective. Alright, 100 guns. No, you don't get it. 150. Last offer. Max agrees, and they drive to the docks. Max makes his way through the shipyard, where he stumbles upon a briefcase of money, a sniper rifle, and the word mayor written on a piece of paper. In case you forget who you're trying to assassinate. Imagine not having the piece of paper. I shot the guy in charge of sanitation, that's who you wanted, right? Whatever. Instead of calling the police, he goes, "It looks like someone has put out a hit on the mayor." Max reaches the bridge of the ship, where there's a phone call. It's Punchinello. Punchinello thinks he'll be talking to Boris Dime, but Max answers. Max antagonizes Punchinello, and then hangs up the phone, and then continues downstairs to find Boris Dime. Max kills Dime with his superior shooting powers, and he grabs the ammo he needs. Vladimir offers to help him take down Punchinello, but Max declines. Why? Max calls Punchinello, and they arrange to meet at a nearby restaurant. But when Max arrives at the restaurant, it's empty. Everything is closed because of the COVID. Suddenly, there's an explosion, and the restaurant goes up in flames, trapping Max inside. Obviously, this was a trap. Are you dumb? Max makes his way to the back of the restaurant and escapes through the sewers. Vladimir sees the smoke and figures that Max must be in trouble. I'll save you. Fuck, I can't do it. Vladimir pulls up right outside where Max is leaving the sewer, and he goes, "Oi, dummy! Come on, we're going to Punchinello's house." Max sneaks out through the back of the manor and finds a door unlocked. Inside, he finds a dead body that's been stabbed with a knife. Are you just leaving dead bodies in your own house and the door unlocked? He makes his way through the kitchen, and he spots Pilot Providence, one of the trio. He kills Providence and continues through the manor. Next up is Joe Deadpan Salem, trio member number 2. Max kills him as well, and then he heads to the Punchinello bedroom. Dead on the bed is a woman. Max thinks it's Lisa Punchinello, Don Angelo Punchinello's wife. But he can't be sure, since she and Mona Sachs are identical twins. It could be Mona, which is good. The telephone rings. Ring. It's Alfred Woden.
Max, it's a helicopter. It's just landed on the Punchinello estate roof. You gotta run.
Max refuses to leave until he kills Punchinello.
But you gotta get out of there.
Max charges on until he runs into trio member number 3, the baddest of them all, Vince Mugnao. We need the text on screen for that one. Max, of course, kills him because he is the best at fighting, and then he makes his way to Punchinello. However, Punchinello retreats to his office and locks the door, begging for help, but Max breaks it down. "I'm gonna kick you, Punchinello." But then 3 men in suits with assault rifles enter. They shoot Punchinello while Max shoots them. Punchinello is dead. Max is going to leave, but then he runs into more suited men with rifles. A woman walks past Max holding a syringe of Valkyr. She injects Max with a huge dose, and he passes out.
I don't feel so good.
Act 3. Plot twist. It wasn't a fatal dose. It was an almost fatal dose. The suited men and the unknown woman leave to go somewhere called Cold Steel. Meanwhile, Max is having another fever dream.
Oh, my dead baby, my dead wife. Why wouldn't I listen to the thing you had to say about the dossier? Why was I so busy and running out of the room?
Max wakes up from his nightmare and is violently ill. He's lucky that dose of Valkyr didn't kill him. After he recovers, he remembers that the woman was delivering exposition about Cold Steel. I will go to there. It's a factory just outside of New York City. When he arrives, the unknown woman and her suited men are already taking over the building. Max finds a walkie-talkie so he can overhear more shit, and whoever is on the other end calls for Operation Dead Eyes to commence. Sounds bad, and it is, because it is a self-destruction protocol. They're destroying whatever evidence Cold Steel holds. Max goes deeper into the Cold Steel building, to a control room. He watches the men in suits kill a guard for trying to stop the self-destruct protocol. He walks over to the insignia stamped on the floor of the control room. Oh my God. It's an old military insignia. A V. That same V he found graffitied on the wall through. Remember? Max continues through the cold steel building. The lower levels were an old military bunker. He finds a man in a lab coat locked in a cell, and Max says, "I'll free you if you take me through to the decontamination chamber." Max goes through the chamber and finds a computer with top secret Project Valhalla written on it. Oh, I'm going to read about it. In 1991, a chemical was created by the US Army to enhance stamina and the morale of infantry troops. But by 1995, the project provided unsatisfactory results, and the project was terminated. But someone kept the project going without authorization. They doubled the test subject doses and released them into an urban setting for observation. And that urban setting was Max's old address. Get it? We've now come full circle. Of all the houses in all the suburbs and all the neighborhoods, you had to walk into mine. And this file was dated 3 years ago. Yeah, we know, we get it. That's probably what the dossier was about too. I like just stating the obvious. Max escapes cold steel before it collapses. Any leads to who was behind the murder of his family are lost in the fiery rubble. A few nights later, Max is contacted by BB. The more he thinks about it, the more he suspects that BB is the one who framed him for Alex's murder. They meet up in a parking garage. Max takes one look at BB's smug face and he knows that he's guilty. You did it. You framed me, didn't you? Someone tries to run down Max with their car. How does he never pick that these are traps? BB jumps in. Max chases the car through the garage until it takes a wrong turn and the car flips. BB tries to make a run for it, but Max kills him with his gun. The payphone in the garage rings. It's Alfred Woden again.
Max, you must meet me at the Asgard building.
Max goes there, and he is introduced to the Inner Circle. The Inner Circle were involved with Project Valhalla back in the early stages, before the project leader went rogue. Woden then tells him about the project leader. Her name? Nicole Horn. Bet you thought it was a dude. It's not. The president of Acer Corporation. Remember the bonds? She has the money, power, and half of the city in her pocket. He says that she refused to allow Project Valhalla to fail. Woden tells Max that if you help the Inner Circle get rid of Horn, then they can clear all charges against him. Snip snap, I'll fix it for you. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, Nicole Horn's suited men break in and kill the Inner Circle. Max escapes into the security office where, while watching a monitor, he sees the supposedly dead Alfred Woden stand up, looking smug. Fake out. Plot twist. Max moves through the building and finds a videotape and a note from Nicole Horn to Alfred Woden. It looks like she was trying to extort him with whatever was on the tape. Yeah, I gotta get to the bottom of this, says Max. Max then finds Alfred Woden's office, where he had left blueprints out to the Aether Corporation building and exactly how to get to Nicole Horn's penthouse. He was behind the bank robbery in that. It seems like Woden left the tape and the letter out in the open, hoping that Max would find it and it would lead him to these blueprints. Woden was on Max's side. Oh, really? I'm confused by this, to be honest. Max knows what he has to do. Head to the Acer Corporation building. But when he enters, he runs into none other than Mona Sachs. They pull guns on each other again. As Horn comes out over the loudspeaker, instructing Mona to kill him, Mona smiles and tells Max not to worry. Horn had helped her to kill Punchinello, but that was the end of their dealings. But then, from behind Max, Mona spots the suited men with their guns drawn. Mona pushes Max down out of the way and fires off some bullets. She's hit, and she lays down dead on the floor in a pool of blood. No! Max swings around and kills the suited men. Yeah! But when he turns back, Mona's gone. Nothing but the pool of blood remains. Max finds his way up to the penthouse to find Horn, who's been waiting for him. She mentions how none of this would have happened if it weren't for your wife, Michelle, and his sticking her nose in the dossier and such.
Might have gotten away with it, too. It wasn't for these blasted kids and their dog.
She turns to leave while her men close in on Max. Max kills all these people and then runs out where there's a helicopter flying by the window. Horn is trying to escape. Max follows Horn to the roof where she's pulling the helicopter. I gotta stop you from getting away. And so he shoots a large antenna on the roof. It falls directly on top of the helicopter and pushes it off the building in a fiery blaze. I killed you. Max stands on the edge of the building, looking down at the wreckage. package. He has a satisfied grin on his face as a SWAT team charges him from behind. Final scene shows Max being put into a police car with a crowd of onlookers. Max spies ALFRED WODEN, and they exchange a knowing look.